start? Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Isabel Tausen and I'm going to do the moderation of this presentation together with Nadia German. I'm student at the campus M21 and I'm studying sports, events and media management. So Nadia, what do you think? Should we start?
Of course we should start. And my name is Nadia German, as Isabel already told you. I'm also studying at the campus M21. Our presentation is about the ISPO Open Innovation. We have tried to create the perfect LAN party of the future by including the game community. First of all, we would like to introduce to you our project by talking about the past, the present, and the future of LAN parties. After that, we are going to show to you the evaluation of the Discord channel, which has been created to involve the target group. This will be followed by a panel discussion with our two experts. And finally, we will be available to answer any questions you may have. This project was realized by the campus M21 in cooperation with the ISPO Munich and the agency Force of Disruption. Firstly, the introduction of the Open Innovation Project. What is a LAN party? LAN, which means Local Area Network, is the technology that makes it possible to play together. A LAN party is therefore a group of private computers connected by a local area network, so connected by a LAN, where the participants compete in computer games. The beginnings were small and insignificant and can already be traced back to games such as Pong, which is basically nothing more than virtual table tennis, which was released in 1972. Few and small tournaments for the games were organized, in which candidates competed locally against each other. The first official gamer meeting, which can be called a LAN party, took place in 1987. Played was MIDI Maze, an early shooter for the Atari ST. Due to the lack of the LAN connection, gamers used the MIDI interface originally designed for sound output. However, the early LAN parties remained a rarity. In the mid-90s, LAN parties became more and more popular. Home computers became more and more powerful, and more games offered the necessary LAN mode. Classics of the early LAN party scene include Warcraft 2, Command & Conquer, and Doom. At the beginning of the new millennium, LAN parties have reached the peak of their popularity. More and more often, organizers try to make a name for themselves with new records. The first gamer party, with more than 1,000 participants, took place in 1999 in Duisburg in Germany, with 1,600 gamers. At this point, it should be said that LAN parties were not compulsively competitive and often only meeting of enthusiastic gamers who played video games with each other without any competitive ambitions. Even without the sport behind it, video games are an entertainment medium with a large following. Nevertheless, this is the beginning of the virtual sport. The world record for the biggest LAN party was set in 2013, the DreamHack Winter Party 2013, with a total of 22,810 players. With the spread of more powerful computers, the trend finally came to LAN parties. This is where the roots of esports, as we know it today, is located. The LAN enabled players to network their computers and play against each other online. LAN now made this possible without necessarily meet other players locally and on a global scale. This means that with the widespread of fast internet connections in the recent years, more and more players were able to play with the whole world from the comfort of their homes. This development has left neither the LAN party scene nor the games untouched. The project we have been working for the last few weeks is called ISPO Open Innovation. We are a team of 5 sports, event and media management students. Our names are Luisa Schnetzer, Lisa Feiler, Julius Bücher, Isabel Tausend, and me, Nadja German. At the beginning, we were given the task of planning the perfect LAN party of the future. Since we are not professional gamers, a lot of questions came up, and we had to deal with them. For example, how long should the LAN party go on? Where should it take place? Or what kind of games are necessary? And so on. Therefore, it was clear from the beginning on that the party had to be tailored to the players and planned with them. To get a useful answer of all these questions, we asked for the opinions of all kinds of gamers. It did not matter whether they were professional gamers or hobby gamers. First of all, we contacted gaming communities through Facebook, Instagram, or their websites and relied for their support and cooperation. The experience we made is that all those who responded seemed very interested and showed full commitment. All in all, we had many positive reactions. We have asked the groups to share a link so that their members can get the access to our Discord channel, where everything else would be discussed. Every day, our Discord channel was extended and the interest was noticeable. Because since from the beginning, the gamers had great new ideas and exceptional questions were asked. Due to the many different topics, the channel had to be divided into different chats according to them to get an overview. After that, we had to manage each chat. One was called time, another one place, the third one add-ons, and last but not least, games and tournaments. We thought about various questions to be answered by the gamers. Step by step, we created different questionnaires with around 10 questions each and sent them into the chats. The answer possibilities were different. Sometimes they had to click only on one answer. Sometimes they had many possibilities, or a few times they had to choose by themselves an answer. Our basic idea was to involve the whole community because it is them who should enjoy it in the end. That's why we asked simple questions and also difficult ones, to give everybody the opportunity to express themselves. In a few minutes, Isabel is going to present to you the evaluation of the Discord channel. On the whole, esports has 2 enormous advantages. First of all, authenticity, and second of all, loyal audience. Companies can use these qualities as their advantage. If the authentic appearance is given, brands can share fan loyalty. This makes esports more attractive for brands, for example, for fast food, IT companies, energy drinks, or insurance. Somehow, everything finds its place in this industry, as long as it is distributed correctly and authentically. Esports is a phenomenon of our time. With the popularization of the internet, esports has grown in size. So it has not only changed marketing, but also the sports. New and young target groups can be addressed. The history of esports is not long, but full of success.
So let's now continue with the evaluation of the Discord channel. As Nadia already mentioned, there were the topics time, locations, games and tournaments, and add-ons. We first started with uploading the questionnaire about the topic time. First of all, we wanted to know from our community how long the LAN party should take place, and this was pretty clear with 100% who voted for 3 days. Next, we needed the desired starting day, where 85% voted for Friday, which was the majority. Now we had the starting day, but we still lacked the starting time. The majority voted here for 4 to 6 p.m. Every good LAN party has finals, I think, so we needed a day on which the finals can take place. 90%, which is the big majority, voted here for Sunday to be the day where the LAN party's finals should take place. I think all good things must come to an end, and this is why we needed an end for our perfect LAN party of the future, and here everyone agreed with the ending day on Sunday. However, there are still some events that has to be considered, and these were the following events: the ESL 1, the Gamescom, the DreamHack, the League of Legends World Championship, the Oktoberfest, of course, we are in Munich and the Oktoberfest is very important, the FIFA World Cup. Now, we still lacked the right month for our perfect LAN party of the future. The majority felt September to be the best month for the LAN party. Also elected, but with too few votes, were the months October, August, and May. The second questionnaire we uploaded was with the topic location. Regarding the location, 94% voted for a trade fair to be the location of the LAN party, and the rest voted for other premises. We also, we also wanted to know from the members how their arrival looks like, and 69% would arrive by car, 25% by public transport, and only 6% by plane. As I already mentioned, the LAN party will last several days, so therefore the participants need a place to stay overnight. And we asked them how should the overnight stay look like, and 69% voted for the overnight stay to be on site instead of surroundings. Now it has to be clarified how the gaming area should look like. Should it be in separate rooms or in one big hall? The majority voted here for one big hall to be the gaming area. To the question if there should be a stage, 100%, which is everyone, voted for yes, there should be a stage. Next, we asked what kind of equipment was desired. And here were mentioned ventilation, high bandwidth, transport connections, sanitary facilities, and dimmable light. I think games are one of the most important elements of a LAN party, so we next wanted to know from our community how many games should be played on the LAN party. And everyone was quite disagreeing, so it came to a result of 30% for more than 8 games, also 30% for 8 games, and surprise, also 30% for 6. The question arose if several games should be played on the same time, and the clear majority reacted with yes, it's a good idea to play several games at the same time. Now, we wanted to know from the Discord channel members how many computers there should be installed on the LAN party, and the majority voted for 12 computers to be installed on the LAN party. To be fully motivated and have fun, even the best players need break. So the question arose how long the break should be, and the evaluation fell to less than 1 hour with 60%. For a LAN party, the games are essential, as I already mentioned, and so we wanted to know which are the most important games for our participants. Here the games League of Legends, Rocket League, player-announced Battleground, Super Smash Bros., FIFA, COD Modern Warfare, Overwatch and CSGO were mentioned. For the best tournament mode, Tournament 3, Swiss single elimination and double elimination were chosen. Also good to know is the comments which were wrote in the Discord channel from our participants, and the comments were: the tournament system depends on the participants and on the games that are played. A timetable is very important. The start games should be staggered. There should be a point system for the registration. There should also be online pre-qualifiers, quality over quantity, and there should be different genres and games. Last but not least, we uploaded the questionnaire about the add-ons. As add-ons, the participants wanted a 100% chill-out area and also merchandise articles. The majority voted that the merchandise articles should be t-shirts. Also mentioned were caps and computers. In terms of catering, they would like to see food trucks. Only 14% voted therefore for restaurants, so I think it'll be food trucks where you can buy your food. 86% also voted for presentation booths. We also asked about cosplay, and with 71% of yes, I think there will be cosplay. Talks are undesirable. However, with 70% voting no, I think there won't be any talks on the LAN party of the future. We also thought it would be a good idea for the participants that they can rent equipment, and this proved to be true, with 86% voted for equipment rental. Now you can hear add-ons on the topic of the sleeping area that were mentioned. There should be lockers, the sanitary facility should be closed, it should be a previously marked area, it should also be separated, the floor should be carpeted, and it should be dark. Other add-ons were a retail area, beverage dispenser, high-quality chairs, a bar, earplugs, a meet and greet area, welcome show, fireworks, and a show match with professionals. Among all these add-ons, it was important for us to know which add-ons are the most important add-ons for our participants. And these are the sleeping area, the equipment rental booths, the retro area, the stage for finals, and the merchandise articles. This was our evaluation, and in my opinion, we have really good and feasible solutions and approaches. We will now continue with the discussion with our experts, Johannes Neuschmidt and Lars Sohmann, where we like to talk about LAN parties and esports. But first, let me introduce them. Lars Sohmann, he has already worked as an IT administrator on both on an employed and self-employed basis. Meanwhile, he is managing director and owner of Tantalian Gaming, and as well as owner and IT consultant of Commotron. The other expert is Johannes Neuschmidt. He's leader and head manager of XGS Esports. He was already working as head manager of marketing, PR and press for Sense Gamers. So please welcome now with a round of applause the expert Lars Sohmann and Johannes Neuschmidt.
Setz dich erst. Please take a seat.
Yeah,
here.
please take
Johannes.
a seat. Maybe you will sit there. Yeah. So first, welcome on stage. I'd like to ask you both the same question to the beginning. Lars, have you ever attended a LAN party, and how did you experience it?
Yes, I was on many LAN parties, and yeah, it's always fun. Many games, less sleep, more games. Yeah, some LAN parties are more parties, and some LAN parties more esport events where you go to the tournaments. I think, yeah, on the ESCOM it would be an esport LAN party. Yeah, I think it would be fun. Everything that people play, everything. Yes.
So you quite enjoyed it.
Yes.
And what's about you, Johannes? Have you ever attended a LAN party, and what was your experience of it?
Of course, I was just on the last weekend on the DreamHack in Leipzig. Was there as esports referee for Ubisoft and Rainbow Six Siege, and also I was on the Red Bull Planet 1 in Austria, in Vienna, and it's always fun.
And if you should describe the perfect LAN party of the future, which was our theme, how would you do it? In one sentence or some words?
Yeah, for my opportunity, the perfect LAN party doesn't exist. The esports is changing so fast, it's always growing, and it's like a small child who learns to walk. Yeah, it's not just a straight way, it's always more opportunities. It's always to be focused on what do you want to do, but it's always
But do you
more
like
opportunities.
do you like the idea of our project to involve gamers?
Of course. It's pretty hard to make the perfect LAN party. Yeah, it should be how to say it. You have to think, and so many opportunities. You have so many chances, and the perfect is pretty hard to say. But it's a great chance to do it.
At least a good LAN party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at this point, LAN parties, I have a question for you, Lars.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think does a participant need for his first LAN party?
Oh, for the first LAN party, yeah. The hardware. Bring your computer, bring your monitor, the keyboard, mouse. Yes, it's. I heard from many people they come to the LAN party and said, "Where can I sit now?" And yeah, where's your computer? Oh, I thought you have computers here. And yes, that's the reason you should bring everything you need to play. And on many LAN parties, you need your network cable too. Because they have only the switches for the network that every computer is connected. And yeah, many junk food, I think. Chips.
For power.
Yeah, for power. Yes, and yeah, something to drink, so your normal stuff.
Okay, thank you. And how did you perceive the Open Innovation project?
I think it's a good project, and I like it that it's in Munich. Another big LAN party here. You can't have enough LAN parties here. And then I think it's a good idea because it's more about the esport and not a classical LAN party only with gaming. You have some tournaments on it, so I think it's a very good idea.
Okay, and I think you've been part of our Discord channel.
Yes.
Yeah. And how did you perceive the communication?
Yes, it's nice. It's on the Discord, so sometimes it's a little bit weird because the chat is too long to scroll to read everything. So I think not everybody have time to read everything.
Okay.
But the communication is good on the Discord. I wrote with some people directly then on a private chat, and then we go to the Discord of your server again and write or mentioned our ideas on it. And I think it's a good idea. So and if you say something, you get a response from you, and yes, that's very nice.
Okay, thank you.
And maybe a question for both of you. How do you see the general development of esports in the future? Who would like to start? I don't know.
On me, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's going bigger. Some games we play now, we will play in the future, because it's a classical game like Counter-Strike, but some games I think we didn't play anymore in the future because the gaming market is changing very fast. And the good on esport games, they are very long on the market, but I think it will give bigger titles of games and different games, maybe virtual reality esport games or something like Halo we saw yesterday here on the stage. So I think it's going very big.
And Johannes, what do you think?
I think for me on a personal way, esport is not just esport. Yeah, it's also more than classic sports, and we have to bring esport and classic sports together, to combine it and to make it bigger and better. And so I make last year Yeah, now last year, a very big event at the Freeride World Tour. On the slopes, in between of the Freeride World Tour, we make a big steep event, also with skiing and snowboarding, and with European Invitational, and that should be the future of also of esports. Not just sit in a hall and play together, bring it outside of the hall, bring it to the people, bring it outside, and let's have fun.
Okay, and as I already mentioned, you're working in the IT industry.
Yes.
How and why did you enter the IT industry, and what makes your profession interesting for you personally?
Yeah, okay. The IT thing is one thing. It was always a hobby for me. I get my first computer with 4 years, Commodore C64, and then it goes on, and as a child and a teenager you play and play and I damaged very often my computer, and my dad said, sorry son, you must repair it by yourself. I show it one time and then learn it and do it. I have no time for this. And that's the reason I come to the IT. And gaming is passion.
So you made your hobby to your profession.
Yes.
Okay, and I think that's very interesting also for our audience. What kind of career opportunities do you have in the esports sector?
Oh yeah, you have many career options. One thing is the esport, the player, but it's a very short career, so it's maybe not the best option. You must look. But after this, you can manage your teams. You can go to the coaching, or in the esport, you need many technical guys, because the events must be organized or must be built up. The computers must running. Network is a big thing in the esports. I don't know, everybody who was on an esport event or on more than one knows, okay, it didn't start. Why didn't it start? Yeah, okay, they have no internet, they have no network connection. The computers don't run. That's very important that we have professionals in there, that they know what they're doing, and this is normally a no-go that it's don't run on stage, but it happens. It's normal. It happens on the big events, on the World Championships, and so on. And I think there are many job careers on this side.
Do you agree with this?
Of course, but I'm not the IT guy. I'm just I began 15 years ago as a console player, just on Xbox. So I'm not the biggest professional in the IT, but I know the esports branch, and I know you can begin as a player. Also, my career starts as a pro gamer. Now I'm an esports referee. There are so many chances to be there. Also, the live streaming, casting, analysts. There's much more than just the players.
And Johannes, one question for you. So I think there are still many people who say esports is not sports, because you sit there and you play with a computer. Do you think esports is sports, first of all? And second, do you think it's good that it is represented here at the ISPO?
Of course, for me, esports is a little bit different than classic sports. It's have many things together. Esporters don't sit the whole day in the cellar and play at their computer. That's you can do it 15 years ago or 20 years ago. Esport professionals have to be fit, have to be mental clear, and they need the classic sport. It's very important for them. Also, the food, the drinks. You'd never have seen an esports player, a professional, who sit on a stage and drinks an energy drink. That's the same than skiing. Yeah, okay, they have the Red Bull or Monster or Hype or whatever, but nobody drinks this. There's water in it or something like this, and it's a cliche. It's just they are all fat and doesn't do anything or something like this.
Yeah, so you think it's very different from the kind of many of us think about esports.
Yes, of course.
And Lars, one question to you now. Do you already have some experiences with organizing a LAN party?
Yes, sure. We organized some LAN parties in the 90s, and the last one we organized 2 years ago. And on the Red Bull Planet One in November, we managed the premium LAN with our computers and supported the people if they have problems with installing games. So we show some people of them the games. Now we're planning to organize our own LANs, but the most of the time we are part from an organization, so mostly the technical parts.
Okay, so you know both perspectives,
Yes.
one as a gamer and the one as a
Yes.
organizer. And last but not least, for you, Johannes, what did you expect from the ISPO, and were your expectations fulfilled or not?
Of course, I like the ISPO. I also was a professional skier 9 years ago before I broke my leg and everything else. But there are so many chances also for the ISPO to go in the esports. We also need the compression shirts. We also need to be fit. We also have to stay clear mental, and that's what the ISPO also do. And you can go to the shops and whatever and speak with them. They are always also looking, esports? No, it's also always a little bit hard, but if you spoke with them, that's no problem, and they see.
And maybe it's already good for people to change their mind.
Of course.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
answering all the questions. Now, dear audience, do you have some questions for our experts? No questions. So now I'd like to welcome up on stage our team, because without them we could not have realized our project. I'd like to welcome up on stage. Could we please put our hands together for a round of applause? Thank you.
Come on.
Welcome on stage now, Luisa Schnetzer,
Thank you. Lisa Feiler.
and last but not least, Julius Bücherl.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Man hat es ja schon in allen Industrien und überall auf der Welt gesehen, dass wenn Firmen oder wenn Industrien nicht rechtzeitig auf einen gewissen Zug und auf gewisse Trends aufspringen, sie irgendwann nie mehr hinterherkommen und komplett aus dem Rennen sind.
Für uns war die ISPO 2020 Munich ein voller Erfolg. Es waren sehr aufregende und ereignisreiche Tage. Wir hatten viele Events hier, die unterschiedlichste Emotionen geweckt haben, die unterschiedlichsten Zielgruppen angesprochen haben. Aber man sieht hier, dass einfach E-Sports und klassische Sportindustrie passen zusammen, und wir freuen uns jetzt schon auf die nächsten Auflagen.
Also ich denke, dass E-Sports zukünftig eine ziemlich große Rolle spielen wird. Gerade wenn ich so sehe, was Hardo, diese Virtual Reality Games machen, das ist einfach ungeheuer spannend und nimmt einfach viele, viele junge Menschen mit in Sport und bringt sie zur Bewegung. Und deswegen denke ich, dass das schon ein zukunftsträchtiger Bereich ist, auch jetzt gerade hier auf der ISPO.
Also ich finde es enorm wichtig, dass E-Sports auf der ISPO ist. E-Sports ist ja, die meisten sagen, ja, Computergaming, aber es zeigt einfach, wie unser Hirn funktioniert. Und Sportarten sind ja auch nur Spiele modifiziert auf den Körper. Das heißt, was die Sportindustrie noch wirklich lernen muss von E-Sports, wie schnell man etwas groß machen kann, wie man Leute massiv motiviert, an irgendwas teilzuhaben, mitzumachen, sich gegenseitig zu messen und so weiter. Da muss jeder verstehen und da muss jeder hinschauen, weil das Ding wächst so schnell und ist so verdammt geil. Wenn die Leute das immer noch so abtun als dieses, naja, okay, ist ja, das geht einfach nicht mehr. Das ist wie wenn man früher gesagt hätte, Pferde und Auto. Da gab es dann auch immer noch ein paar Leute, die sagen, ich habe doch Pferde, brauche ich nicht. Man muss sich aber damit beschäftigen.
Ich finde es gut, dass E-Sport auf der ISPO vertreten ist, denn E-Sport gehört genau hierhin. Die ISPO ist die größte Sport-Business-Messe Europas und E-Sport ist Sport. Das muss man verstehen. E-Sports-Marketing funktioniert sehr ähnlich zum normalen Sports-Marketing.
Wir reden hier von einem Phänomen, würde ich sagen, momentan noch, was uns in der Zukunft sicher noch weiter begleiten wird und was ja, die Stadien der Zukunft füllt. Da bin ich mir persönlich ganz sicher.
Wir sind besonders stolz auf die diesjährigen Aktivierungen zur ISPO Munich 2020. In 2019 hatten wir schon eine designierte E-Sports Arena. Dann haben wir ein eigenes E-Sports Festival umsetzen können. 3-Tages-Festival in München im Juli. Und zur ISPO Munich 2020 wurde jetzt alles noch mal viel größer. Wir haben erweitert. Wir haben hier eine E-Sports Bühne, wo wir durchgehend Fachvorträge am Vormittag und am Nachmittag haben. Und dann geht es in Turniere. Wir haben die AMD Masters Rocket League umgesetzt. Wir haben die Unileague eFootball, ein ganz, ganz spannendes Thema, umsetzen dürfen und sind besonders halt eben begeistert, wie der Zulauf hier an der Bühne gerade stattfindet.